From Buffalo to the big leagues, this is MaDi Tells All. All right, guys, we're back. It's been a few weeks since I've been in the podcast studio because your girl has been traveling like nobody's business. I was just going everywhere and anywhere with Bill's Mafia, of course. I did do, let's see. I literally, like I said, I always have to do this. I have to pull out my phone to kind of like know where I've been because that's the best way for me to just like understand my travel schedule, which is just absolutely insane. And it's so funny because the podcast studio was like, I did not know how much you travel until like I realized looking at your Instagram how much you travel. I'm like, I try to tell you, during the football season is so hard for me to do anything. I've been trying to do my hot sauce. I've been trying to do other businesses. And it's like, it's so hard to focus. Even with working out, it's like I worked out for like a year straight and I was like in the best shape. And then now I moved to New York City and I don't really have like a yoga studio next to my house. It's like power yoga was 2 blocks away from me. So it was so easy. But anyways, I was in Atlanta, which was so much fun. My best friend, Ryan Monolopoulos, who you guys have seen on the podcast, which has been one of the most like viewed and talked about podcasts ever. He is a film director, producer, stunt performer, you name it. He's done it all. But I stayed at his house in Atlanta, which ended up working out perfectly because he was part-time there, part-time not there. He was filming with Whoopi Goldberg in Syracuse. But it worked out so perfectly that I was there. My friend Jesse that lives a few blocks away from me, who's also a editor for like Maybelline, he was also in Atlanta. And we had quite the crew down there because Ryan has turned all of his Atlanta friends into Bill's Mafia. So we had a full staff of all bartenders and servers and DJs who worked for us check in. Like, it's so amazing when you can go into a different city and actually know that the workers are really going to show up on time and they're your friends. So we had so much fun. The Atlanta game, I'm pretty sure we kicked their ass. I would hope so. But yeah, definitely. Because I remember, no, we lost that game. We should have kicked their ass and we lost that game because now I'm remembering that the tailgate was so amazing. First and foremost, there was like 600 people there. The drinks were slaying. Everyone's like favorite thing, like what I do is like I can't sit down at the tailgates. Like your girl's always working. I was literally filling up like empty cases of variety beers and going to the end of the line and like being like, grab a beer, get out of line, or like, thanks for waiting. The lines weren't even like that crazy, but I think it's just like fun to do. And I love just like being the star. So yeah, that game, we ended up going in. We ended up like literally, I think the Bills maybe got like 1 touchdown. It was sad. And then we went to a diner after, but the diner was lit. It was a karaoke bar. And it was this was a Monday night game, maybe. And because it was hard to find stuff that was like lit on a Monday. And then it's like we walk in, there's like hundreds of people doing karaoke, but then the diner's upstairs. So then you get to people watch the whole entire time. So there's like no FOMO. You're like in the club, but not in the club. Had pancakes, had a nice time, met some incredible people, hung out there for a little bit. And then I stayed in Atlanta for like a day or 2 longer, was on the Beltline for a little bit. And then it worked out perfectly that my friend Jesse and I we were on the same flight back to New York. And then we were able to like Uber back to our area. But all in all, then it was Atlanta. But the Allen family came deep. We had Josh's mom and dad that came to the tailgate. So we absolutely love that they always support and always choose us to come hang out. They're just like the most incredible people. I think they like brought 20. It's like the whole town of Fireball was there. Cousins were there. We did our annual little picture op, which was always a good time. And then I came home and it was right to work. It was New York City's Food and Wine Festival, which they reached out to me. It's crazy. Like, I'm still so new to New York, right? Like 9 months is still so new. Take away all my travel. I've really been here for like 4 months, I feel like. And New York Food and Wine Festival reached out to me and they were like, hey, we want to give you tickets to our festival. We'll give you promo codes. You can make money off it. I'm like, all right, boss. And then my friend Richard, ironically, invited me to one of the events too, which I was eating oysters with Martha Stewart. She was just hanging out, literally hanging out. I'm doing a video where I'm eating oysters. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, wow, that girl has Martha Stewart's hair. And then I'm like, it's fucking Martha Stewart. literally just next to me eating oysters. Then we go into another part of the bar like an hour later. She's just hanging out with everyone, like being one of the gals. She was like with her girl gang. Like no one was coming up. No one was bothering her. Like I'd say that's the best part about like New York City is like you can literally see anyone. Like I saw some of the actors from like Girls. Like everyone says they see Machine Gun Kelly all the time and Adam Sandler, but like it's crazy. No one goes up and really bothers them because it's just like New York and you see celebrities all the time. But the Food and Wine Festival is amazing. I had so much raw oysters, scallops, ahi tuna, baked goods, desserts, expensive cheeses, sushi, and everything was free. Champagne, dirty martinis. Like me and Richard are just going around. Like Richard's my friend who also is part-time in Buffalo, part-time in New York City. And he is just a wild little menace of fun. He lived in the same building forever as like Chef Darian and Jessica. And we've all like Jessica and Darian will also like stay with them sometimes when they come to New York. But we've just developed such a friendship. I don't know how old he is, maybe like 50, but we love him. So did that. And then the next day I had another event with Food and Wine, which was with the Burger Fest, the Blue Moon Burger Fest. Meat sweats, man. We ate so many goddamn burgers. It was insane, but some of the best burgers. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, I got to post some more of this content because it was just like so good. And then I went on like an accidental date. I thought that we were just going to go play tennis because I met this one Australian kid and he was like, oh yeah, like I'll play tennis anytime you want to play tennis. I'm like, sick. Like I really want to bring my tennis game up. I was varsity captain of my tennis team and I was good at it. Like, let's go. We ended up signing up for, I don't know what we signed up for, but we get there and there's no private lessons. There's no courts. It's like the public courts and everyone's like, yeah, all these are taken. We're like, nice. So I'm like, we'll ride bikes for a little bit, walk around. And then we were like riding bikes, hanging out. And then he's like, do you want to go to the Other Half Brewery? And I was like, yeah, I love Other Half Brewery. We also have one in Buffalo and that's like a cult. Like when that thing opened up, I did not know that like the beer snobs like line out the door ready to get cases. I was doing a pop-up with my clothing brand. But then all of a sudden we are at the brewery having some ice cold beers. And then we're like watching the sunset in Williamsburg, like, you know, just watching the sunset. Then all of a sudden he's like, are you hungry? Do you want to go out to this Italian restaurant? Don't know the name of that Italian restaurant, but shit was lit. The food was so good, which reminds me I need to go. Maybe I'll go there tonight. I was just looking at everyone's food next to me between the burrata situation and we had like charred pumpkin pizza, maybe a coche de pepe, which is like one of my favorites. And it was like so spicy with the pepper. But apparently they have another location that everyone goes to as well. So I got to get the name of it because it was just so good. So hopefully if I make this into a reel, I'll like pop it underneath. But message me. Hopefully by the time I have the name of it. The fried chicken, everything. Like it was just so freaking good. At an Italian place. I'm like, the fried chicken, the people next to me, I'm like, need it now. But the burrata that's served with like a whole entire huge pita, next level. And then all of a sudden he's like, well, I know this one place called like Poetry, Dead Poet. We should go check it out. The place was lit. Okay. Got delicious drinks, gave like Thailand vibes at one point. And then all of a sudden we just keep seeing like people walking to the back. And we're like, is there a back patio? We go back there. There's like a mini fake treehouse log cabin situation. I'm wearing my Bills jacket. The two girls are like, oh my God, we're from Buffalo. Like, and then we were chatting. They're like, oh, you're Buffalo food slut. Like, I follow your Instagram. And I was like, hell yeah. Then we go into this other area and there is like an RV outdoor campsite. Like this guy must be a burning man if you don't know the term. All of a sudden you look up, there's fake stars. There's like lawn chairs. There's crackling of wood going on. There's like crickets in the background. There's like an RV that you can like chill and hang out. You go to another room. There's like records. There's a DJ. There's like a dance floor. Other room was like your cabin in the woods. There was like a guitar, a piano, and just like totally looked like you were like cabin in the woods. I was like, what is this place? It was so cool. But then at one point, it's like 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, dude, I got to get home. He was a gentleman, only kissed me on the cheek. I was like, you know, this whole new dating scene in New York, it's very new to me. I really haven't gone. That was like, I guess, my first accidental date, and it wasn't even planned. I've been single since March and have not really been interested in the dating scene. I'm obviously out going to events all the time. I'm always like looking, obviously, but I don't know. It just like takes me a lot. If I'm that person who I don't want to just like go on a date if I don't know that there's chemistry there. So I'm probably going to be asking if you want to grab coffee or like go to Central Park and just do something that like isn't going to cost you money, because I just feel bad having you take me out to dinner if I'm not into you, you know? And I think that's the difference in maturity of myself, is that we can have that thing. And if you spend $5 on me and get the cup of coffee and it's no harm, no foul. You didn't spend a lot of money. I didn't waste a lot of time. But the dating scene is crazy here. Like I mentioned before, like two people, they just, not even dating scene. It's like they're just at a club, they meet each other, and all of a sudden they're making out with each other and they're going home together. And then you find out they slept together the next day. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. I'm like, I want to go on some dates. I want to get to know you. You know, that's like my whole entire thing. I went to a holiday party with a friend the other day who I'm like, I could see like, going on a date or something like that. But it was just like a friend needed a date for a holiday party. Like, and I love dressing up, and the holiday party was lit. But then I went to California with my parents. My mom and dad were telling me that my dad had a work trip in California. And he was like, your mom's going to be alone a lot of the time. Like, I would love for you to be able to go. And when they asked me this weeks before, I was like, you're kidding me, right? I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to go to California with you. Like, it's during the Bills schedule. Like, it ended up being a bye week, and I was able to go with them. Obviously I told my parents, I was like, I'm going to be working a lot, but like, you can bring your laptop on the beach, you can bring it by the pool, but at nighttime I'll be able to like hang out with you guys. And we did beach walks and we just had so much fun. Like, we all shared a hotel room. My parents got me one of those like little bunks that came out, and my dad had tons of conferences and everything like that. He's a pharmaceutical drug rep. Kudos to him, because that was a moment which was like crazy. Is my dad's been a pharmaceutical drug rep since maybe I was like 11 or 12. Before that, he owned a Ceiling Pro. They went into Olive Gardens, Outbacks. They did stuff for Kohl's. They did stuff for a ton of Buffalo restaurants too, like power washed everything, because my dad worked at the steel mill forever. And then when he lost his job, he started working at like my mom's daycare. Like, my mom has been an entrepreneur as well forever. She owns her own daycare. Now she's retired, but she's still always coming out of retirement all the time. And I'm like, just retire, woman. But we love her. She's just always helping out all the cousins because my family's so big. But my dad was at the same job forever with pharmaceutical. And then all of a sudden he was like, I need a change up. I want to be, more financially stable for the business or for the family. I'm one of 5. And that was tough because my dad went through a lot of interviews, got a lot of no's. He's, I believe, 57, and he's going into this field where pharmaceutical sales, medical sales, drug sales, they are looking for young, beautiful people. My dad, very attractive man. I know that because so many of my friends are like, your dad's attractive. And it's been like that since I was in high school. So that wasn't the problem. But again, he's 57, and they're looking in their eyes when they're hiring this person. Like, why would I hire this person? He's probably going to retire in a few years. So my dad got a few no's, and that was really hard because he would come home and just be like, really nailed it, really good at interview, and then find out I didn't get the job. But he got this job. He got an awesome pay raise. Congratulations. Mom and I are so proud, and the fam. But yeah, so then he had this whole conference, and we were just in Huntington Beach in Laguna. Laguna's not real. Laguna is not real. It is so freaking beautiful. Art galleries up the yin yang. I felt like I was at Art Basel. Lots of pool visits, lots of hanging out. I even had a gentleman that I know ask me if I wanted to do dinner or drinks, and he lived like 60 miles away. And I was like, honored. And everyone's like, yeah, that's how it should be. And I was like, I know, but it's not every day that like someone will just like, do that, and I just was like, I should have said yes. But of course I said no, because I was like with my family. I didn't want to ditch my mom. I know that my dad had a conference that night, so my mom was going to be alone. She's like, Madeline, you should have went. And I was like, I know, but I love you so much, Mom. And my mom was my content creator. She was taking thirst traps of me on the beach. And I was like, mother. She was like, literally like, arch your back. She always, she'd probably be on it right now. She always goes, tits and teeth, tits and teeth. And I was like, yes, mother. And now that I'm looking at some of these photos, I was like, we got to put these on the internet. But then right from there, it worked out because then I went to Charlotte and we hosted a banger in Charlotte. It was called Must Be Nice, Mr. Nice. It's a bar and stuff. Eric Wood was our special guest. He absolutely crushed it. Kudos to him. Calling him last minute, being like, hey, we need a special guest. Like, can you come by? And he was like, yes, of course. And we had like, I don't know, over 800 people come to that event. And it was just like you paid to get in. But then there was like, we had live music. And then we had Eric Wood. And then we had like 6 different bars, which was sick. So there was like no waiting. You could actually get espresso martinis. It was like the nicest game day event we did besides like Super Bowl stuff. So that was super fun. And then we hosted a banger of a tailgate. It was one of our biggest away tailgates. There was 1,000 people. Energy level was amazing. We had a great DJ. Wingnuts was there, slaying chicken wings, having a good time. We ended up winning the hell out of that game. I forget what the score was, but we should because the Panthers are not good. I think that the Panthers maybe scored like a touchdown. Now that I'm looking, there was a guy who literally had a blue cheese glass purse. Like, kid you not, it was a glass purse filled with blue cheese, and people were doing crazy things, like dunking the craziest things inside of there. But then they stayed a little bit longer in Charlotte so that we could all do work. We had a bomb steak dinner. Oh, yeah, also Side Biscuit was there. We had a bomb steak dinner. Oh, I'm looking at it right now. It was a ribeye with crumbly blue with a big onion ring on top of it. Our other friend Travis was there. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm looking at pictures of my niece. She's so freaking cute. And then I got home back to New York City and it was right to work. Met up with Levi and our other friend Jeff. Had a lunch meeting there. We went to this place and it was so good. I forgot we had like poached. I don't know what the vibe was, but it was cool. They were filming a movie like right on the same strip. And our friend Jeff was like, I got to go. I'm actually filming right at that location. And I was like, of course you are, because you don't stop. And then I met up with my friend Letty. We went and got this Mexican food. We use this app called Storytime, which is lit, which I'm going to use today. And you just go get like free food in the city. And all you have to do is post a story. It's meant for like influencers. But it's crazy because they'll give you like $30 to $50 of free stuff, and all you have to do is post an Instagram story. And then when I was like home in Buffalo, I had places being like, can you make a reel? Give us all the unedited photos. We're maybe going to put an ad on it, and I'll give you a $25 gift card. And I'm like, nice. Oh my God, I forgot. This is so funny. So Carvel / I Love Ice Cream reached out to me to do a brand deal with them, which was an amazing brand deal. And they have a ice cream cake. So they have an ice cream cake and they wanted me to make content with it. And I was like, perfect. I have to do a photo shoot at a Bill's bar. I'll make this a whole day of it. So Lainey came into the podcast studio and her and I were in the podcast studio having a good old time, chatting and yapping. And then we were like, let's go get coffee. So we go to get coffee and we look outside and it is, kid you not, torrentially downpouring. Like the worst I've ever seen it. That's the videos that you see eventually of like Bushwick completely being flooded. Well, that day was like the day from hell because I had to film like 3 different things. One in the podcast studio, one with Carvel, and then one with the Rutherford, doing Bill's content. So that was just hysterical. And we're like, okay, we're just going to go to the coffee shop across the street from the studio. Okay. First of all, they're like smoking cigarettes in there. They are just like, no one speaks English. We're like, whatever. We're just going to get it. We got like the worst coffees ever there. But we're just like, okay, we're just in it. It's fine. So then we're like, oh my God. We realized that like they have those tuk-tuks. I call them tuk-tuks. Street bike taxis here, whatever they're called. I forget what they're called here. But we're like, oh my God, that'll be so fun. Part of the content. Let's just grab one of those bikes. And I swear the guy says $1 per minute. And I look at my GPS and I was like, oh, it's only 10 minutes to go to the ice cream store to go get the ice creams. Perfect. $10, $15, $20 at most, whatever. We pick out the friggin' bandwagon of bandwagons, the I don't know cars, the Mustang, Cadillac, BMW of everything. And we're like, we're going to take that one. We get in there and then we go get, he parks the bike and I was like, okay, can you just chill here? And then we're going to go inside, go get the ice cream. We got to do content. It'll probably be 10 minutes. Then we'll come back out. I'll just pay for you for your time. Again, I'm thinking like 10 minutes. And I'm like, whatever, like Carvel's paying me well. Like we'll just go from there. Make this funny ass video in the shop, go back to the tuk-tuks. Then he drives us to the roof for it. Again, it was like an 8-minute thing. Me and Lainey are having so much fun. We are jamming out. We're just feeding each other ice cream. We're just like, it's all part of the plot for this video. Then we park. The guy, how much do you think it's going to be? I'm thinking at most with tip $65. I'm like, whatever. If it ends up being $100, like screw it. The guy tries charging me $450 for this whole entire ordeal that maybe took 42 minutes, okay? Again, I swear I heard $1 per minute. I literally told him, hey, this Uber to go to that place is going to be like $25. Like, are you going to be cheaper? And he's like, yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I ended up fighting with this man. Fighting with him, and still he ended up getting $100. $100 for 42 minutes of his time driving around on this bicycle. Oh my God. But then that day we went and we did a bomb ass photo shoot. Joe was the videographer. Lainey was the photographer. We had Lainey's sister, her friend, and then Joe just brings these hot ass dudes to do the photo shoot. The one is like, oh my God, he should be a GQ model, like so hot. The other one is like Italian hot. And we ended up doing the whole entire photo shoot. It was so much fun. And then went home. And then the next day was Halloween, which I ended up wearing this baddie outfit. It's the same outfit I recreate for every music festival and Halloween party. And it's me with these like golden wings. And it's just like kind of the vibe all day. And ended up going to one of the guys that has done stuff with, is it Vanderpump Rules? He's friends with one of the friends, Ariel maybe, that does Love Island, whatever. Long story short, Brad, he's absolutely amazing. He invited me. It was his birthday party and it was his Halloween party. And he was Oscar, I don't know, Cookie Monster. I don't know. I didn't really watch that show, but what is it? Sesame Street. I didn't really watch it, but that's what he was dressed up as. So he was so much fun. We went there. Oh, and then I, believe it or not, had to be back to Buffalo because I think the Bills played the Chiefs. Yeah, they played the Chiefs. And I had to do stuff with Chica Cheetah. I went to the Chop House with some of the people from Fireball, which is like Josh's hometown. And oh my God, I'm not going to lie, I used to hate on the Chop House. I was like, overpriced, not that good. Like, you can go have a better meal somewhere else. I've been loving the Chop House. The steak has been absolutely cooked to perfection. Now that I'm looking at it, oh my God, I'm so hungry. Ribeye with bone, with like a black pepper crust on it, with their gorgonzola demi-glaze. We had a seafood tower with shrimp cocktail, lobster. They have like maybe South African lobster or Atlantic lobster. So good. Usually don't like raw clams. Ate a ton of those, but food was amazing. Drinks were amazing. Chef Darren and Jessica ended up joining us, which I have to give because now I can announce it. But Darian just announced that he's on Next Level Chef, and I am just so proud of you. I know that you've been on the Food Network channel now like 4 times between IHOP commercials, Chops, Supermarket Stakeout, but Next Level Chef is absolutely incredible. And Chef Gordon Ramsay, I know that has been an inspiration to you. It's been an inspiration for me. And I'm so excited because I just know that going on this show is just going to take your career to the next level. And I'm so happy that I've been a part of it for the last 4 years. So Chef Darian, kudos to you. Can't wait to watch you on the show. I know you're going to absolutely kill it. America's going to love you. The world's going to love you. But Tailgate was absolutely incredible. I think it was maybe our first time that Chica Cheetah was back. So I love them. It is a peanut butter tequila, and they just are so much fun. Their branding's amazing. Caleb Presley does an absolute amazing job with all of his videos. Like, I don't know if you were a stand-up comedian in your past life or how it came to be that you were with Barstool Sports and now, because like you can also do stand-up. So like, don't keep that out of the question. You should do a stand-up show. I know people would come watch you. Then we had Deco Lounge there, which is a restaurant in Buffalo. They made some wings. They had some appetizers. They had like egg rolls too, which was super fire. And then we had Mexico City there, of course, because they always do a good job. And that was Wonderful Pistachios Week. I love that I can look at my phone to have reference, but wonderful pistachio. Absolutely crushed it. They came with the Nutman, and as you know, Josh Allen just signed with them, and now his nuts are going to be like, I think 100% processed, or they already are like now, which GameDay has a whole entire series coming out with them, which is pretty awesome. Guy Michael Schwartz from a local news channel in Buffalo, like ABC7, he did a whole entire doc series on them. But yeah, we had a wonderful pistachio there. It was Halloween weekend, and we won against the Chiefs. Of course, it was a nail biter, but usually we always beat them when we're home. And now the Chiefs are out of the playoffs, so it's looking a lot better. And then I did a live podcast at Wingnuts. Wingnuts was so much fun. We did it with Spencer Brown, Dwayne Carter, and John and Marcus. And it was just so amazing. Every seat was full in the house. It was a Monday night after a crazy tailgate. Like, I don't know why I did that. I should definitely do it the Saturday, the night before, but I know that the Bills players usually have that Tuesday off, so it's easiest for them to do it on that Monday. But it was so good. And then I also filmed for the documentary that's going to be coming out with Chad Michael Murray and Andre Reed as like the co-producers with it. And I believe that Mac, his name is Mac, he is like the director of it. But that series is going to be coming out maybe on Amazon is going to be purchasing it. But they contacted me to do a little series for the Sponge Candy and Beef on Weck. And we did some content for them, sent it into them. Photos came back from Rutherford, absolutely crushed it. Oh, I see me on a bikini. And then the Bills played in Miami. My God, my life is, would you believe it or not? Like, this all happened in like a matter of like 3 weeks. Like, it's crazy. And I have to get off of here in 2 minutes because then I have a Zoom call. But did Miami. Miami was absolutely sick. Met up with like a farmer. We had a barbecue at his house. He made what he thought was really good chicken wings. Pat, I've had better. Love you to death. But you need way more sauce on your wings. They're not deep fried. You can't call them buffalo wings. I don't know if you did, but tailgate was absolutely amazing because we have a location on stadium property, like with the Dolphins, that we just turned it into a Bills situation. But that was the first time I discovered like Hannibal, the guy from we have a crazy Bills fan that like paints his head blue and wears like a Hannibal Lecter like mouth thing. I just walk over, some ladies like painting his face. Then we had our friend DJ Nene DJing, Don't Mind Me, and some of these thirst trap photos. I was look a little thirsty and hot in Miami. Had bomb ass dinner. Got home. Where am I now? Oh, got home, and then MTV came to town. MTV The Challenge. I've been working with them for year 3 now. They contacted me to where to go out to eat 3 years ago, and then I was like, where are you tailgating? They're like, we're just going to bop around. I'm like, no, you're not. You're going to come to game day, and we have just built a relationship with them ever since. And then that tailgate, we had them there, and then I did a whole entire takeover with Chiquita, where they had me do some personalized content from them. I hired my girlfriend Lauren to do all the content. Lauren Carducci absolutely crushed it. If you are in Buffalo, New York City, or elsewhere, like, she's a great person to just work with. Then I went and dropped off 50 meals to Roswell. Roswell has a huge part of my life. My grandma's not dealing with some of that right now, so she's at Roswell a lot, and we love you, Graham. But I went and dropped off 50 meals there, and then I went to Punt and went and surprised Punt with a check from a private donor who's been Bob is his name, and he's amazing. And anytime, he is always there. But Rachel's Mediterranean sponsored it, and they dropped off the food. Oh my God, I gotta go soon. Then I came back to Buffalo. I see that I filmed some content here of me and some clothes. Oh, and then I filmed with friggin' what's the name of the company? Buick. Is it Buick? Now that I'm looking, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Buick. Filmed a commercial with Buick. I can't wait for those photos to get out. Then went to a Mariah Carey pop-up, which was so much fun. My friend Taylor and I went. She's an awesome content creator. We did a photo shoot in the bodega. And then, what is this? Oh, my friend Levi invited me to a book signing. We went to a book signing. We went to some other event. I went and watched the Bills game at Reds, which was crazy because I never get to watch the Bills game. And yeah, we lost that game. It was pretty rough. Then I went on set for NBC and got to watch my friend Jeff literally direct. He's one of the directors from Vampire Diaries. directed a whole entire show on NBC with Kelsey Grammer, and he was the star. He's like, everyone's so nice to me here. We're like, yeah, Jeff, because you're the freaking director. So I've never been on set like that before. That was absolutely incredible. Back to Buffalo and hosted an event at Hartman's for the night before Thanksgiving and gallivanted. It was an absolute snowstorm and a half, like absolutely crazy. My videos went pretty viral. Went and visited my friend's baby. Let's see, what's the other one? Game Day went to Pittsburgh. We hosted an event with Pittsburgh. Of course, Wingnuts came down. We won that game against the Steelers, but of course, it was a nail biter. And then what else did I do? Oh, and then it goes into Art Basel. Yeah, that's my life. Absolute mayhem. If you think you can keep up with it, good luck, because I am just on the road. I probably talked a million miles a second because I have a Zoom call that I got to go. Classic end of the year meeting. But I love you guys so much. Go Bills. I hope you love my new little backdrop over here because I am obsessed. Love the lighting. Thank you, Gotham. Love you guys. From small town roots to the big city hustle. Remember, your past doesn't define you. Your passion does. If something hits home today, share it, tag me, even write in. Be a part of this community. This isn't just my mic, it's ours. Check the episode description below for all the links. Until next time, keep building your empire your way.